Welcome back to Queer History Matters. My name's Trick, and I recorded some of this video last night on July 10th, and it's July 11th now. I was half asleep when I filmed it. Half of it doesn't make sense, and I left out a lot of important information, so I'm just going to be editing up which I have so far and elaborating on more points later on since I didn't finish going through my script. I'm just going to be editing clips. To elaborate on certain ideas that I brought up in the footage from last night that I didn't necessarily have the spoons to elaborate on, if that makes sense. So the first thing I wanted to do is get out of the way that this is an sex education video. It has to do with a lot of mature themes. So if you are not comfortable hearing mature themes, please click off of this video. I am not going to try to age restrict this video. If it gets age restricted, it gets age restricted, but I'm trying not to because I think that this information is important to people of all ages. And trigger warning for sexual assault and sexual abuse that might be mentioned throughout the video, as there are certain themes that may come up in my research that have to do with those topics. And along with the sex education aspect of this video and academic piece, I wanted to add that personally, I am very grateful for my experience with sex education in high school. In the state of New Jersey, they require sex ed freshman year of high school. So I was at the age of 14, and at the end of my freshman year of high school, I was raped by a classmate, and I was very grateful that I had that prior knowledge to know that I had to get an STD test and that I needed a pregnancy test. And I knew that I had the option to get a rape kit if I wanted to. I chose not to report, but I later on the same person had been reported by another student who he had also raped, and I did help that survivor with their account for the police report. So, although I did not report my personal experience when it happened, I did elaborate on it later on to the police. So, hi, editing trick here again. I just wanted to say that I started disassociating a little bit, so I needed to take like a few minutes away from the camera to do some self care. And after doing some reflection, I wanted to elaborate that having sex education as a child allowed me to know I had a choice to report, even though I chose not to. It gave me the knowledge to empower myself to make that decision later on when I did help my ex classmate report uh, her experience. I just wanted to put that disclaimer that in my personal opinion, I don't think this should be an 18 plus video just because I do really value that experience of having that sex education. I feel like this particular kink and subculture has too much of a personal impact on me for it to be only one video. Um, I think that I might make this as part of my master's thesis or my doctoral thesis if I choose to go that route. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do for grad school, but I do want to put that out there that I will be elaborating on this video more, and that this is going to be a part one of the Feedism series. And I am still in the process of researching stuff, so I just wanted to get this out of the way. There are a lot of different terminologies in this community that people use. Um, Personally, I prefer the term feedism, and I personally define it as um, a way of showing love to myself and my partners through an intersection of food, fat, sex, and kink. Many of the sources I'm going to be citing refer to feedism as feederism. However, many in the community tend to reject the term as it puts emphasis on the feeder or the person doing the feeding rather than the feeding itself. The feedee or the person who is getting fed may or may not want to gain weight, and feedies who want to gain weight are typically referred to as gainers. Many people understand these terms to be synonymous, but I don't necessarily consider feedy and gainer as synonymous. However, some of my sources do use them as synonyms, and I wanted to put that as a disclaimer before I get into the rest of the video. Um, I wanted to specify that you can be a feedy and not a gainer, and a gainer and not a feedy. I personally consider myself both a feeder, feedy, and all-around feedist. However, I don't plan on gaining weight anytime soon as it would negatively impact my eating disorder recovery. However, many feedists do actually use feedism as a recovery tool for eating disorders. However, for me, I don't think I'm at the point where I'm comfortable gaining weight yet, and that is something that I have to personally work through. But I would love to get to a point in my life where I feel comfortable no matter what my weight is. And that is a goal I'm working towards every single day. I am in a monogamous fetism relationship. Although I am polyamorous, I am only interested in feeding one person and having fetism experiences with one person. And for the sake of this video, they would like to remain anonymous. So I will be referring to them with they them pronouns and the term my feedy. So please do not post any comments hitting on me or asking to feed me or to be fed by me. I am not interested. I am, happily feedism married. Like I'm good. I don't I'm good. I don't want anyone else. I'm good. I've been in the community since I've turned 18. I've known I've was interested in since I was a preteen, like definitely since middle school. So it's an important part of my identity. I feel called to make this video because a lot of academic literature involving Buddhism is made by those outside of the community. It can or cannot be sexual, depending on the person. For me and my feedie, I tend to know that like most of our feeding experiences, I'll feed them a bunch of snacks and then I'll immediately fall asleep and we don't even have sex. I still have a good time. I'm still feeding the person I love, so I can't complain.